So testimonials, I'm going to skip over some of the other stuff, get to testimonials. This is an area that I see marketers make big mistakes in. How many of you have a product? Well, you're all selling something online, right? Yes? How many of you have testimonials? Raise your hand. Right? All of you. Okay, most of you, right? How many of them use them? Most people, yeah, right? How many of you call your testimonials on the phone? Yeah, good. So here's the thing. A testimonial is a great lead for a super testimonial, right? You should call your testimonials on the phone and ask them some questions. And I'm going to give you a script to go through in just a second. Oh, this is it pretty much. But you'll ask them a set of scripted questions. This will form the perfect testimonial, right? So somebody calls, yeah, Nate? Yeah.
For a couple of our Agora Health offers, we set up an autoresponder. So when someone orders a product, 30, 60 days later, how's it going? That's where we get the first testimonial.
Right.
Because people write in, oh my God, I feel great. Then for a couple of our products, what we do is we actually have a person follow up with them and ask, to get on the phone with them, of course, like you were about to say. So, one time we actually got a video testimonial from that person, and then we took a crew and flew out to that person's home.
And it's totally worth it.
And got this wonderful story with all the gorgeous guys.
Totally worth it. Especially, I would only fly somebody out there if they're crying on the phone. If they're crying on the phone, I'm putting somebody on a plane. Because you get a testimonial crying.
What, did they move in with you?
Cake.
All right, that's even better.
It's also, thanks.
Mr. Pinkster.
His thing's always better, yeah. Thanks for wearing wearing a normal guy shirt today, by the way.
So we had a guy who was a recovering addict in Savannah, Georgia, living out of his pickup truck. Holding my book, he flipped a mobile home park. 2 of them made 5 figures. And I flew AJ and one of the guys from the office to record a whole telenovela.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome. But the question I have is that going to gravitate attracting the wrong person who's get rich quicker, or is that?
Depends on what the testimonial is. What you really want to hear in the testimonial is not, I made $1 billion. I'd rather hear, I made $100,000. Okay. Tell me what you did with the money. See, I'd rather them not talk about the $100,000 or say the amount. Mm-hmm. I'd say, we did great. We killed it. Really? What'd you do with the money? Well, I paid my mom's house off because I love my mama and I'm a good Southern boy, and I think everybody buys their mama a house gets to go to heaven. So I bought my mama a house. I paid off her credit card bills, put my kids in school. See how much more impactful that is than I made $100,000? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So you might even cut. So the great part about recording a testimonial like that, either video or audio, cut what you want, use what you want, right? Yeah. But here's the script, right? So this is what you want them to say. I was skeptical. I saw no risk. My results were amazing, and I'd recommend this to my mom, right? I'm an evangelist now. So the way you do this is you call them up and you say, hey, Cole, I saw that you sent a testimony. Thanks a lot, man. I really appreciate it. Would you have 5 minutes to talk to me on the phone for a couple minutes? I'd like to record the call so we can have it for our other members and stuff. Would that be okay with you? If they say no, move on to the next one. But yeah, sure, I don't care. Okay, great. So Cole, I know you came to this offer intensive, and I know you probably found the sales letter online, right? You probably read about it. Were you skeptical, or what? I think you were probably a little skeptical, right? Lead them. Yeah, I was. What were you skeptical about? Start recording. Well, it's one of the things on the internet, and I didn't know, and it's one of the really long sales letters, and I didn't know these guys, and I didn't know anything. I was really skeptical. I didn't know if I was going to lose my money or not. Some of these things are pretty shady. All right, great. Well, but you went, right, Cole? Yeah. So what was it that put your mind at ease to go ahead and make the purchase and come on out? What was it? Well, there was a guarantee, and I know they're associated with digital marketing, and I know those guys, and that Ryan guy's a pretty good guy. That Perry's a crook, but the rest of them are pretty good over there, and we're not even talking about Roland. But I didn't see any risk because they had a money-back guarantee or whatever. So you want them to talk about why they went ahead and took action. And plus, I really needed it in my business. I just had to have it, or I wasn't going to be able to keep functioning. Okay, great. So now, can you tell me exactly what your results was? What exactly happened after? What happened? Well, you know, I was able to write my first sales letter and blah, 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 blah. And I made $38,620. That's where I would do the thing I was talking about with, yeah, holy crap, that's a lot of dough. Are you used to making $38,000 in a week? Oh, hell no, you know. What'd you do with the money? How did it change your life? What happened? How did it make you feel? How did it make you feel to make that kind of money in a week, right? And then at the end say, well, it sounds like you're pretty satisfied. Sounds like you were skeptical. You came anyway. You got an amazing result. So who would you recommend a program like this to? Don't say would you. Say who would you? Man, I recommend anybody that's got a blah, 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 blah. Thanks. Right? Now you've got a perfectly structured testimonial where really you just had a lead. Right? If they call it, oh, yeah, Cole's awesome. Yeah. I took pictures. Yeah. You know? It's like this way you get exactly what you want. All you got to do is ask for it. The girl's already said, hey, I've packed a bag and I'm sleeping at your house tonight. Is that okay? Yeah. Let's talk about what's going down. So they've already agreed to give you testimonials. So now you just have to make it the one you want. Okay? Yeah.
Something Nate said that triggered this was, Bill Phillips.
Yeah.
So he had Body for Life. He had before and after, and then after. So before, after. So I was just doing before and afters until 2007. But when you bring that second after, like before I met Bill, this is what my body looked like. 12 weeks later, this is what I look like. It's now 7 years later. Here's what I look like.
I still look great, or I look better even.
I can't tell you what that did to lifetime
value. I never thought of that.
So lifetime value, when you go back to the well, if you show those before, afters when you're indoctrinating them, they want to have that second after, and that's another way of.
I bet you a good short-term after would be like, if you did that, you did
30 days, 90 days.
You do the thing, and then what was the result, and then. Now, fast forward today, how's that changed your life overall?
Right.
Right? Well, I'm able to play with, then you're going to get real emotional. I'm able to play with my kids more. People look at me more respectfully. I can fit in nicer clothes, so I wear suits now, or whatever. So there's probably a lifestyle change on, right?
And if you compare the before-afters to the before-afters,
yeah.
There's like 3-4 times lifetime value
Golly,
more.
That's so smart. That's a really good idea. I've never thought of that. Thank you, sir. All right. So the formula is I was skeptical, plus I moved forward risk-free, plus I got specific result, plus I became an evangelism. I became an evangelist. Sorry. So now it's time to make your offer. Revealing the solution and making the offer are not the same thing. Follow? They're not the same thing. So revealing the solution, saying, hey, we get this awesome thing. Here's what all comes with it. Here's what it does. Right? Then you're going to show, you're going to go here. So you're going to show your social proof. And then you're going to make your offer. So be specifically brief. So now it's time, right? This is the time. So now's the time for you to move forward. So yes, Cole, I want to be part of this. So here's what you're going to get. You're going to get this, 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 and this. These are going to be the specific deliverables. Then you're going to have blind bullets. Now this, you don't have to have this, but really enhances what you're selling. Blind bullets are a different kind of bullet point that allows you to tease different benefits without saying what they are. I'll show you some examples in a second. You're going to anchor your price. In other words, whatever you're selling, it's a great idea to have an anchor. For about the price of 3 Starbucks every month, you can be part of Cole's Classroom and learn to be a world-class photographer in just a few months. Be part of a community, hang out with people like you, yada, 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 for about the price of 3 Starbucks. For the price of for the price you'd pay to have a half-assed copywriter write you one shitty sales letter, you can come here and learn to be a master copywriter in just 2 days, right? So you see what I'm saying? For the even like we anchor a lot of stuff when we get in a bigger ticket, we found that like War Room, right? So you want to feel stupid about not being a War Room member? For the price of one half-assed part-time employee a year, you can hang out with a room full of multimillionaires and learn all their secrets. Now, don't you feel like a pretty big dumbass? Right? right? Deanna, get those applications ready. Just kidding. But no, you see what I'm saying though? We learned this thing really, really, really cool. That changed a whole offer for us. Anchoring a price changed an entire offer for us. So our content marketing agency, Platter, sells $7,000 a month content marketing. So we bill people's, all their blogging, all their social media, all their blogging, and even their email, and the sharing of it all, right? We do all of it. Strategy, soup to nuts, $7,000 a month. We've only lost a couple of clients in the last couple of years. It's amazing how well it's done. But when I started selling it, I did the first pitches. I was like, okay, you can get this, this. I could tell everybody wanted it, right? And at the end, I'd say, and you get all that for just $7,000 a month. Oh, okay, well, dude, yeah, we'll call you back on that a little bit. You know, it's a lot of money. It sounds like a lot of money. The only thing I did to change the offer, one thing took it from like a 30% close to a 70% close, and now she's up higher than that. I just said, hey, you can either do this yourself. You've got 3 choices. I did 3 choices close. So now you know all the benefits of this. You know you need organic traffic. You know you need it. You can't unknow it. So now you got 3 choices. 1, you can do nothing. Just bury your head in the sand, and you're just not going to get the traffic, and your competitor is. 2, you can learn. You can spend the next couple of years figuring out how to do all this yourself. You can hire a big fat team to do it. 3, you can take this plan we've developed to you, go to another agency that's maybe cheaper, and have them try to execute on our plan. Great idea. Or 4th, you can just let us do it. We know what we're doing. We developed the plan. We're the guys that architected the home. Wouldn't we be the best ones to build it? And yeah, we'd rather have you do it. Great. We do it all. How much is it? We do it all for about the price of one average employee. That was it. We went from 35% to 70% close. We do it all for about the price of one average employee a month. And we all know we got one extra hanging out we don't really need. Right? In my case, more. Just kidding, Matt. So I'm going to show you a blind bullet. So here's a blind bullet. I sold TNC for years with blind bullets. If you want to read really good blind bullets, Clayton Makepeace has I'm telling you to go to follow another copywriter. Clayton has a cool mastermind called, is it Clayton Makepeace's mastermind, I guess. AWAI sells it. It's $150 a month. And he has an online mastermind. It's great. He's the best at writing blind bullets I've ever seen. But because he'll do little things at the end like, these are older ones for me. This was from the very first Traffic Conversion Summit. I cut them out this morning. So AdWords stripping, 6 ways to slash waste from Google AdWords, allowing you to grab traffic from Google at 20 to 30 cents on the dollar. You don't tell them how. Domain, you never let the secret out. Domain jamming, our sneaky little trick trick Google into thinking your URL is direct on match to any search term. Red pinning, find exactly where your customers are and target them at any local level at 10% of the cost of national ads. CTR busting. You give all this crap names, right? And then you're saying, or a blind bullet could be the one food to never eat on an airplane. You can guess 5 times and you'll never guess what it is. The one thing to never eat on an airplane. Yeah, on page. So yeah, that's what I say. That's Clayton does that. Paris Lampopoulos is a War Remember, fantastic copywriter. They'll do that if they're doing a book or a report or whatever. It'll say, secret revealed, page 7, right? Or Schwartz did a lot of it. A lot of times the parenthesis is, you'll never guess what the answer is if you tried all day. The 5 words you can say to any woman to get her into bed. Can you even guess what one of them is? Right? Money. So yeah. So does everybody kind of get that? So a blind bullet is just that. It's blind. It doesn't tell you what it is. When you're talking about a features benefits bullet, you're telling somebody the feature, your product, and the benefit. When you're down here, these are almost like little sneaky bonuses. Because you don't want to make this the core, but you want to add this on. Plus, today, you're going to get blank, 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 and blank. The pie pan trick. The pie pan trick that lets you take wide angle shots in the middle of the night, crystal clear. The peeping Tom, right? All right.